Hey, how's it going? Check in for September the 16th. It's Sunday today, so now the non solid worky day. But yesterday I did say I was going to do one very specific thing when the kids weren't here this morning because they were on a sleepover as we were out last night. And that was to come up with an executable plan on the whole outbound versus inbound marketing pivot that I've sort of decided is going to be the next thing for me to really focus on. A bit of a change of direction with my strategy. And I said in yesterday's video that if I didn't do at least 60 minutes of planning, then I was just going to give up. I quit. And I knew that wouldn't happen. So I honestly felt that having made that promise to myself, that I'm making it public on these videos, it did somewhat focus my attention yesterday morning. And I didn't get onto it straight away. I did do it. It didn't actually take me a full hour to do it, and I actually had a bit of a realization whilst I was in the process of coming up with a plan. And when I say an executable plan, the whole point of this, and this is what I've also realized over many years of coming up with plans. I still kind of cock it up from time to time, but I'll make a plan. I feel like I'm making a plan, but actually I'm not. I'm just writing ideas down. It's not things I can actually do. And there's no difference between this and when I'm coaching people and when I'm talking about going from knowing to doing. It's all about having something very specific that you can do, and that was the whole point of an executable plan. Here are the things that I'm actually going to do. But the other realization I had this morning was that a lot of the time when I'm trying to come up with a plan, I try to come up with a whole plan. And again, similarly to what I teach when I'm coaching and when I'm writing and when I'm talking, I talk about you don't need to know how the whole thing is going to work out. You just need to know how you're going to take the next step. And I had that realization whilst I was doing this work this morning, and that's why I didn't take a full hour. I just stopped and thought, right, well, I know what I need to do next. And I was sitting there thinking, okay, what else, what's next, what comes next? And of course, I maybe I would have come up with something, but it may have been completely different by the time I got to the point where it was relevant. Does that make sense? So I just stopped at that point and started taking action on some of the things that I listed out that I was actually going to do. Collating lists, downloading information, speaker sheets, doing all of those kinds of things. So yeah, kind of happy with that. And actually, something else that popped into my mind as well earlier on, thinking about this, was that the guy who was speaking, it's related to it. The guy who was speaking on Tuesday at the PSA meeting was really good, had loads, just masses of information. But what he was describing was how he does what he does. I mean, Judy Holmes, the lady who was speaking as well, I think she's probably my favourite speaker out of the two. She was really, really good as well. But they're both talking about what they're doing right now. And it can be quite overwhelming when you hear somebody telling you what they're doing right now to get the results that they're getting. And again, going back, what I teach, what's always worked for me and for the people who I work with, it's not about what other people who are further along down the line are doing. It's what you can do to go to the next level, to get to your next level. And this is what I kind of took away from that. Instead of thinking, right, I've got to do all of these things, I've just got to get started. I've got to build that habit. Thinking back to when I trained for the Ironman a couple of years ago, and I couldn't swim more than 2 lengths of a swimming pool. And I knew that there was all these things that I could do, but actually the first thing I had to do was just to build a habit. I had to get down to the pool 3 times a week. And did that for 2 or 3 weeks, and then I got myself a coach, and then I went into a triathlon swim club, and then I got into open water swimming, and then I did a half Ironman, and then I got up to the point where I did the Ironman. It was bit by bit by bit, and you can't just start where you are and then suddenly go and do an Ironman. You have to do what the next relevant thing is for you to do, whether you're trying to lose weight, get fit, tone up, get healthy, get in shape, or whether you're trying to build a speaking business, trying to copy somebody else and model what they're doing, that's not the way to do it. And it just feels overwhelming, and there's all the comparison crap that goes with that as well. Whereas taking the bits from that I think, okay, I can do that next. That's the next thing I have to do. I've got to systemize this. I've got to get into a habit of doing that. That's what I was focusing on this morning when I sat down for the 40 minutes or whatever it was I spent on it. And felt so much better because I feel like, right, now I know what I've got to do next. And all those things, they're waiting for me as and when the time comes. But right now, all I got to do is this. So that was my kind of big takeaway from the day. It feels like a small thing, but as in a small amount of time and a small action that I've taken, but a significant one as well, because now I've got a bunch of things that I just got to get on with doing over the course of the next sort of 3 or 4 weeks are going to be pretty critical, I'd say. So yeah, onwards. Next big focus is to get the seminar at the end of this month, the 27th. Got to get that absolutely geared up. I've got to be really, really good there. I've got some great content. I've got to polish it up, make sure it's really good, make sure all the exercises, all the worksheets are all done properly as well. And then we'll be good to go on that one. But yeah, ready for a good week of it. That's my check-in for the day. Back again tomorrow.